I'll start just with a few things from the game. Being down there and playing the way we did, we didn't deserve to win that game flat out. And it started with the opening kick. I was proud that we battled back and didn't allow that to snowball. I mean, it was 7-3 in the second quarter, and the guys were playing. But offensively, we did not score points. We got in the red zone 3 times and came out with 0. And obviously, when you lose by 2 scores and you're playing on the road and you're playing in a great environment like that, we have to maximize our opportunities, and we didn't. It comes down to 11 guys, playing together with great technique and effort. And, there's a lot to learn from in that game for our football team. Definitely a wake-up call, and as the head coach, it's on me to get these guys ready to play. We did have a good week of practice, so it wasn't something I anticipated or saw coming. But at the same time, I think we got a lot of players that expect to play better than that. They took it to heart today. They were great in the meetings. I thought on defense, we battled, kept us in the game, did some really good things, but we can still play better. You got to give their fans and their game day credit. I thought it was a really good environment. We walked the campus before the game and just seeing their tailgate scene, the number of people that welcomed us to their stadium, the way they supported their team. It was awesome to play in that environment. And, I look forward to coming home and being a part of our environment. But, we missed that, last year. We missed the fanfare and the college game day experience. I do like the way that our team battled back in the fourth quarter and scored and got an onside kick recovery. But, when you look at the game itself, we had a tough lesson to learn on the road. And we had a very candid meeting this morning to discuss what we need to do better from a coaching standpoint, a playing standpoint. And as always, we win and lose as one unit. And I'm the head coach of a team that didn't play good enough to win. And so that's on me. And they're the players that need to play better. I'm the coach that needs to coach better. And I own that. And I look at it as a great opportunity to make our team better. And there's a lot of football left for us to be excited about. And it starts this week. From the game, I just want to make a couple announcements. Peyton Wilson and Cyrus Fagan both had season-ending injuries in that game. And I'm not going to get into the details. Both will recover fully, but both will require surgery. And it's sad and it's heartbreaking. 2 guys that obviously are great players, but great people that worked hard. And it's the ugly part of football. The good news is both of them will be fine, post-surgery and recovery, and have a chance to continue their careers. But I just want to make sure everyone is aware of that. Jalen Scott will step up and start at our will linebacker position. And Drake Thomas will assume captain duties on defense with Isaiah Moore and Peyton's absence. You talk about the game, there's really not a lot from a positive standpoint. Offensively, we were all over the place. We'd move the ball and not score. We had some good throws. We had some good catches. We missed some guys. There's throws Devins wished he has back. We didn't protect him well enough. We missed a couple blitzes. And so really all around, it's about consistency. It's about execution. It's not about how many good players you have. It's about how well you play together. And I didn't feel like the crowd noise was the reason that happened. Defensively, we didn't give up any big plays. I thought we matched their routes. We tackled, very well in space until the fourth quarter. A couple times they got away from us, and I thought the guys battled. We didn't have any takeaways, and we didn't get any sacks. We had 1 sack. And so, on 50 pass opportunities, you'd like to see a couple interceptions and sack fumble type plays to help us. I thought our special teams were not up to par in that game. I think from the opening kick, we were trying to cross kick and kick it in the right corner, and we kicked it in the middle of the field. Our hang time on our punts need to be better, and I know Trent Gill will fix that. Our punt return team forced their punter, and they shanked some punts and gave us some good field position that unfortunately we didn't get points out of. We didn't have a returnable ball on our kickoff return. And we've got to cover kicks, and I think the hang time of kicks and the way that you cover kicks, we've got to be better, and look forward to Coach Goebel fixing that this week with the guys. more than anything, it's back to basics. It's back to fundamentals and getting back to work and being excited about fighting against adversity. We get to play against, Furman this week, and, a very disciplined football team, a team offensively that does a lot. They're an option team. They're a spread team. They'll get in the pistol and run downhill at you. Their quarterback can run and throw. Their tight end is a first-team All-American and 20-yard-a-catch guy. They've got 9 starters back, and defensively, they're going to be where they're supposed to be. They're very sound. They're coached well. They've got, good blitzes that they disguise, and they try to stop the run. They're going to put a lot of people in the box, whether on quarters or zone blitz, cover 3. It's just a defense when you play. It's like when you play Wake Forest. They're going to be sound. They're not going to beat themselves, and they're going to play hard. And so we have to execute at a high level. And more than anything, it's about us. We need to go execute and do it over and over and over, just one play at a time, and enjoy the game of football. I think perspective and lessons are a big deal in life. And when you have 2 players of the caliber and of Peyton and Cyrus that can't play, that really want to play, I think it's a lesson for a lot of these guys. And so look forward to the opportunity to get back on the grass with them tomorrow. Questions?
Hands raised. Let's see, Jonas, you want to start us off? Jonas? I will come back to Jonas. How about you, Gibby?
Yeah, Dave, you said you talked to the guys this morning and said they were okay. I mean, what are some of the things you do as a coach after a tough loss like that when you first bring the guys back for your first meeting after a loss like this?
You speak from the heart. You don't lie to them. I think it starts, like I said, with me. I have to own the things that I wish I could have done better for them, and I ask them to do the same. I think we're a family here, and we need to be able to have tough family discussions, and we definitely had one of those today. It's not I'm screaming at them and, using bad language at them. That's not what it is. It's, hey, here's the things that we can't be if we want to be great, and point them out, and ask them to have thick skin, ask them to be owners of what they had a part in, and then ask them to fix their part, and then ask our staff to fix theirs, and then you move forward. And, it's one of those things that it's not fun. We don't come into this sport to lose games. You come into it to compete and win. But I think through a loss, you can get a lot of really, really valuable lessons, and maybe we needed that. Maybe we needed to get punched in the mouth. We read our press clippings too much, maybe after the opener, I don't know. But we did not play the way that we're supposed to play, on the road and all 3 phases.
Are there some guys, Dave, on your team that you kind of lean on to help reinforce what you coaches are trying to get through to as well?
Yeah, we have a great locker room of leadership, and, you guys know who they are, and they do a good job talking to each other and explaining things, because they've heard me talk for a number of years, the guys that are in the leadership roles, and they can put it into their own languages and make sure things are clear. And it's interesting because most of these guys, before I met with them today, I'd talked to several players one-on-one or through text, and we're on the same page.
James?
Yeah, Dave, I know it's only been a couple of games, but what are some positives you've seen from your team and maybe a couple negatives?
I think positives, defense, I really feel like those guys are flying around. I think we're playing fast on defense. We're tackling well. Like I said, we didn't have interceptions, but you're seeing pass breakups on deep balls. I mean, Tanner Engel had a couple really nice plays on the sideline, whereas maybe a year ago he's ejected for playing those balls the wrong way, and so that side of the ball is just kind of picked up where they left off. Negatives on that side of the ball, we just need to get a few more sacks. I think sometimes it's hard with how fast people throw the ball, but we got to be able to get to the quarterback a little bit more. On offense, I thought we were really physical in the first game. I loved how we mixed things up in the run game, and we caught the ball well. I thought our perimeter players blocked hard and were physical. I felt it was almost the opposite in the second game. We were very inconsistent and made some great catches, had some drops that we can make, picked up blitzes and then didn't pick up blitzes. We were just inconsistent, and it's a tough way to live that way. Offensive football, one guy makes a mistake, the play is not going to work. On defense, if one guy makes a mistake, the linebacker can fix it or the safety can fix it. And, offensive football has got to be consistently executed. And the positives over there's great leadership. They know it. They're going to fix it. They're all about it. Nobody's fighting each other on it, and we'll move forward.
Jonas is having some computer issues. You want to try again, Jonas? All right, David.
How do, when you have these kind of injuries to two, very important players, two guys who, are emotional guys in the locker room, is it possible for something like this to kind of bring your team even closer together?
Well, I know there was a genuine, I don't know, just heartfelt emotion in there about those two guys. And we love those guys, man. And we feel for them, and we know what the game and the team means to them. And so, yeah, I think that pain that we all suffer for them can help us play hard for them, and I know they will. But, it's just challenging for anyone. I mean, we're going to all take the same mentality of it's next man's opportunity. And I know Jalen Scott will do everything he can. And Rakeem Ashford will do everything he can. And Cyrus Stead, and that's kind of what you have to do. It's part of not just football, it's part of life. We all lose things that we expect to have on a day-to-day basis. And, how you step up around them, you do it as a family. And I think that's what we have to do as a team.
Gibby.
Yeah, David stole my question right there, but I guess getting to this week, is it good to get back home this week, Coach, after a loss like that, or would it be one of those deals where it'd be nice to go on the road again? But I'm sure you're happy to be getting back home on Saturday.
Yeah, well, since it's a night game, I'll tell you, I'd rather be at home. Traveling home, we got home at 3 a.m. After that game. It can take its toll on you. So for that reason, I'm happy to be home. Be honest, I just want to play. Want to get back on the grass with the guys and play a game. But yeah, and since we're playing at night, I'd much rather be in a home environment than have to travel home in the middle of the night.
Does anybody else have any questions?
Annabelle, if Jonas wants to get on the phone with me later, just set up a time.
Okay, got it. James, you got one more?
Yeah, I'll ask Dave one more. Dave, obviously evaluating Devin in that environment, having a chance to watch the game back, how'd you feel he did?
Devin battled, he did some good things. He made some great throws. I wish he was a little more accurate in that game on a few of the deep throws. We had Anthony Smith behind him 3 times and couldn't connect, and overthrew him, underthrew him, and we got to get them on the same page. But he was not rattled one bit. I thought he had a good demeanor. The guys around him need to help him a little bit more. I think that's one thing as an offense. We've got to help our quarterback, protect him, keep him up, don't let people touch him. And that's one thing that we'll do better. It'll be a great film for everybody, and Devin included. I know if you talk to him, he's very hard on himself. There's plays he wishes he had back.
Corey.
Dave, I wanted to ask you what the conversations were like with the wide receivers as well, because obviously there was several drop passes in that game on Saturday that could have led to some drive extending plays as well.
Yeah, they got to make the plays for the quarterback. It's bottom line. You want to be an elite group. A lot's been written about their experience, and they got to be consistent, and it's got to come at the moments that we need them in the game. And you just can't. Nobody's trying to drop balls, it's a focus thing, and relaxing your hands, seeing the ball into your hands, finishing the catch, and the process of doing that. And so, expect those guys to make those plays. They're those types of players that should, and I know they feel the same way.
And I want to ask you too, what are your expectations for your offense going into this weekend too? Obviously a different opponent than what you're going to face in Clemson in 2 weeks, but what do you want to see from your offense that can show you that they're making those strides to get back on track?
Yeah, I just want them to be consistent and to execute, you know. I mean, we need to eliminate mental mistakes, and there's too many of those. Just want to see 11 guys doing what the play caller asked them to do as hard as they can do it. That's it. It's really nothing more magical than that. And if those guys will do that, we have good enough talent to score a lot of touchdowns.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Gary Hahn.
Dave, last year you had a loss in game 2, but you had a big finish, won 8 games, got a bowl bid. Did that come up during this morning's meeting? Because this team has a lot of potential and a lot of talent.
It did. You know, last year we got punched in the mouth at Virginia Tech and came home and regrouped and went on the road and beat a very good Pitt team. And so we talked about that, talked about the lessons that were learned. You know, that game last year, our defense gave up like 300 yards rushing and bounced back and really shut down Pitt's offense. You know, and offensively had a great game. Devin had a 400-yard game. So, you know, I think we'll learn a lot. Like I said, sometimes you need to get punched in the mouth. Sometimes you need to realize that winning is really hard. You know, it takes elite focus and communication and discipline and all the things we talk about. And it doesn't matter who you play, it's how you play. You know, I don't care what team we're playing the rest of the season. It's going to be about us. And that's where our focus has to be. Our focus has to be on not beating NC State, being the best NC State we can be.
James, you have another one?
Yeah, Dave, I meant to ask you, I saw where Terrell Dawkins played a snap in the last game. You mentioned the pass rush up front, getting him back, you know, acclimated. Is that something that can really help that unit out?
I hope so. You know, Terrell's been out. Last week was his first week of practice. He actually was on the scout team all week just so we could get him a lot of reps and get him healthy. And we got into the game and felt like he might be able to give us a little bit of a pass rush because of his speed. But he's back now, and we hope to get him into the flow of things. You know, he missed spring ball and fall camp, so he needs to catch up fundamentally. And so, you know, it'll probably take some time to get him back to where he was rep-wise a year ago. But, you know, his impact can be felt when he's ready.
Thanks.
Do we have any other questions for Coach? All right, Coach, thank you. Thanks,
All right.
everybody.
Thank you, guys.